My name is Angelika JAKIELA, and I am a human earth angel. I have a urgent message for all humans, especially all religious humans, that as of February 2023, the Holy Mass, the Catholic ones and all religions, has been changed to a new Holy Mass that is centered on being an informative help session having to do with promoting the health and well-being of all kids, old people, all humans, all animals, all living creatures, and all nature. This Holy Mass I, Angelika JAKIELA, am mentioning a message is sent by God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. This new Holy Mass has 3 parts. To be an informative session that the priest or minister or religious leader of the Mass is to mention information helpful to maintain the physical health of all humans, kids, old people, of all loved pets and animals, of all living creatures, and of nature. To mention these in a short, helpful, caring, informative, holy online Mass. A human being in this first part of this Holy Mass, this new, holy, caring for all creation, Holy Mass is to contain helpful, recent, up-to-date information that is oriented on maintaining the health of humans, kids, humans of all ages, humans that are old, by the minister or priest, the Pope, a rabbi, a minister, Presbyterian one, Protestant, different ones of all different religions, to themselves or find someone who is knowledgeable about basic human health, basic human nutrition, basic human anatomy functions that deal with how the human functions affect their anatomy, their human makeup of their brain, the organs, and the human physiology. This basic information that, as a minister, priest, and all religious instructors, all religious individuals of worship that were being the individuals leading the holy masses for years, and the Pope, archbishops, bishops, cardinals, are to promote in these new holy masses, especially during COVID times and variant strains, these masses that are online, while all holy places of worship are closed to prevent the spread of coronavirus and variant strains. These religious individuals are to be, in essence, human earth angels. They are these priests, ministers, rabbis, the Pope, all in the world of every religion, in this new holy mass, to be educated and to promote in a caring way, using their virtues to be informed of up-to-date human, as I stated, basic nutrition facts to give to their parishioners and viewers, to help find someone who is educated to help them with this, perhaps a volunteer, to post these facts on their already existent websites for each church, archdiocese, the Vatican, Dalai Lama. All other major religions have their own parish websites online, especially during COVID times, to speak what I am mentioning to you, what the holy new masses are to contain. From the heart, to speak intelligently, to care, to prevent the health failing and suffering of all humans, kids, humans of all ages, the old people, all humans, to inform them and find rather informative posts, pins that already the research has been done for years, are easy to find, with nutritious, beneficial foods that are proper to basic human health for all ages, for little kids that are growing, that need to sleep 8 hours, to promote this information, to speak this at every mass, to remind the parishioners they already have online to post this on their each church and parish, synagogue, temple of all religions, worship websites, to keep up to date information on these websites about simple facts about human physical health, how to maintain it to be proper, because a human being's brain, mind, physicality, and organs, the soul, they all belong to God. They are to be kept healthy out of respect of their own life, the, to respect the dignity of themselves is a value of a human within them, to be respected and out of respect of all other humans to set a good example, to be educated in maintaining their own proper physical health, their brain health, and that of others. It is a human being who is also their physicality when they choose healthy and well rested to sleep 8 hours, to be of proper physical health, of brain and mind, and physical all organs functioning properly, then they are to be having a and being a temple for the Holy Spirit. A human that educated itself enough to care for its own health, to respect its own God given dignity, its life, its brain, mind, and physical health, to be clean minded, educated, in clean minded morals as well. In that way, to be a temple for the Holy Spirit, a human being that has virtues that are gifts of the Spirit, that when they are of proper physical health, that the minister or priest, rabbis, Dalai Lama, Pope, archbishop, bishops, nuns, monks, evangelists, prophets, to mention in these holy masses, the new one, these words to tell humans this, to spiritually as well, in addition to maintaining proper physical, human, and brain health, as God intended after He created humans in His own image to be healthy, with a brain that controls millions of functions at all times in a certain proper temperature. For a human to spiritually be informed by these ministers, priests, all religious leaders, what their virtues that they have are, these gifts that they selflessly, without expecting anything in return, can use to help others with the information that they learned throughout their own lives information about health, about human health, about animal pet health, about nature, that should be posted up to date basic information about this on holy masses mentioned and posted on each different congregation and parish websites, archdiocese, diocese, Vatican, all holy sites, shrines where they are in Lourdes, Holy Mary, all monasteries, in Jerusalem, the holiest sites, churches, holy grounds, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, where Jesus' tomb is, in Częstochowa in Poland, the monastery where the holy site to Holy Mary is, and the one to Our Lady in having to do with Holy Mary in Portugal, and all other sites, ministers, priests, religious individuals that have websites online to morally do right and under God. Listen to Angelica JAKIELA, an innocent human, a human earth angel, real one, am saying from the kindness and heart of my human soul. These are God sent words from Jesus, an example to use all virtues as he taught to his disciples and all humans, set a morally right example to help others by using virtues, gifts of the Spirit, selflessly, by free will of choice, to prevent the health failing, prevent the suffering of humans, of animals, of nature, by being educated in basic nutrition information about all, how to promote this, and the well-being of all humans, kids, elderly, the disabled, of all pets, loved ones, and animals, to mention that these are also living creatures with a life that is valuable, a brain and mind that have a health that has to be cared for by trained, caring humans, and respected as all living creatures have right to be. They do have a kind-hearted soul, and of all nature, to be promoted in this new Holy Mass, this new holy, informative, helpful session of up-to-date recent information in these matters to promote the health and well-being of all nature, as well for the priest, minister, pope, all religious individuals of all religions, to speak this shortly in a mass, to find information about this, find volunteers if needed, to find helpful information, to promote the health and well-being of all the humanity, all nature, all animals and pets and living creatures, to respect the dignity I have, to help them in the ways that they need. As Jesus' example he had when he was on earth a human being. To do kind, compassionate acts of mercy. When educated first through what these ministers, priests, and Pope, Jewish rabbis, Protestant and Presbyterian ministers, the Islamic religious leaders, Catholic priests, all world leaders in religion, archbishops, cardinals, all have to be educated and speak from their kindness of the heart and soul, as Jesus did when he was a human on earth. They are God's representatives on earth and have millions of parishioners and humans looking up to them for proper moral examples. To promote proper health and well-being facts, nutrition, basic anatomy and physiology as stated, of a human physical health and well-being, of kids, elderly, humans of all ages, proper exercise, basic tips to put in the new Holy Mass, anything required to maintain basic human proper health information at each holy new online Mass. When the human physical health and of all animals' nature is maintained and cared for by an individual such as a priest, minister, pope, rabbi, a religious individual, to care enough to be as Jesus when he was a human on earth, from the kindest heart soul to promote this and every parish website, archdiocese, the Vatican, every holy site, Jerusalem, Lourdes, monastery in Częstochowa and in Portugal, holy sites, to promote the health and physical health knowledge required for humans to know to care for their own health and to promote this by word of mouth, selfless, caring, compassionate, merciful acts, to be educated in this way and speak this or post tag in modern day online on the online websites, to put on their sites, to share to others, to selflessly help others, be a proper role model as Jesus when he was a human on earth, to use their virtues in this way, to be educated, to think through intelligently about the needs and health concerns of others, to promote the overall health, physical health, and well being of humanity, to mention online information such as for kids, to remind humans that they are growing, that they have to have a safe, warm temperature place for their physical health to function, for them to sleep 8 hours, they are growing, to remind their parents, other humans to help them with this, to help give them up to date, most nutritious food, put helpful tips after research has been done. There are pins and posts out there. Humans educated in this, priest minister have to help find them or already know this, to put these on these holy masses, to mention, to put on their online sites of each congregation, church, ministry, place, archdiocese sites, the Vatican, all holy sites, Jewish synagogue, main sites for each of them for their parishioners, these kind-hearted humans that look up to them, to the world religious leaders, and in every Christian denomination, religion, priests, ministers, all of them, rabbis, pope, for proper physical health information to help them and use all the resources they have in their job description to help them accomplish proper health so they are not suffering. When their physicality is healthy, then they can also then have to promote proper spiritual well-being of their parishioners, Catholic, Protestant, Presbyterian, Jewish, Islamic, Buddhist, all of the main Christian religions, all these religious world leaders, the Pope, archbishops, bishops, cardinals, to be then a spiritual proper guide, a proper spiritual role model, such as Jesus was when he was a human alive on this earth, to guide humanity of all ages in this holy mass, the new one. A short, holy, informative, helpful, caring, compassionate, merciful help session, spoken through a minister, priest, prophet, religious, world religious leader, to his congregation, to all his parishioners. All other humans, religious or not, can tune in, invite them to learn about the physical health maintenance, basic facts as is stated, to put on their online sites, and find humans that live through different things on earth that they choose and find have proper nutrition facts, exercise tips up to date that care for human physical well-being and can put online in these parish websites, archdiocese, the Vatican, all holy sites have to do. Every day of rest is mostly on Sundays, Catholic ones, other religions perhaps Saturdays, but this is when the most times there is the Holy Mass. There are also daily Holy Masses, but these are online now due to preventing COVID and variant strains. When all parishes are closed, all synagogues, all places of worship, religious ones, are mandated under God to be closed out of respect of all humanity rather. Every human dignity of a human has a value life, of their health and physicality to be respected, to prevent the spread of this coronavirus and variant strains at all costs, to all children, animals, old people, disabled, all with respiratory tracts, animals, pets, and the whole world. So then it will be gone from the world as soon as possible, hopefully not mutating anymore. And this is to be mentioned in the third part of the Holy Mass, and to be put online and in these parish websites up to date. The priests, ministers, the Pope are morally obligated to do. All other religious world leaders that have parishioners tuning in, viewing these holy masses, to mention this most and find this most up-to-date recent information to help them so they don't strain their heart and health, to find the most up-to-date preventative measures and information to prevent the spread of coronavirus and variant strains, to find the most up-to-date, helpful information on the World Health Organization site, especially to inform their parishioners, to care for them, such as Jesus did, to care for his disciples, humanity, to make sure they educate themselves, the ministers, the Pope, archbishops, cardinals, rabbis, all of them ministers of all religions, to take the time, use their virtues, be patient, educate themselves, use this information to prevent the spread of coronavirus, to post on their website. I made pins myself, the work's been done. All you have to do is add links to your sites. Angelica, JAKIELA, Human Earth Angel Care. This part of the new Holy Mass, a holy, caring, merciful information session mentioned by caring humans, ministers, priests, pope, archbishops, cardinals, evangelists, prophets, ministers, rabbis, Dalai Lama, all other religious leaders, to all the humans and parishioners under them. A selfless, merciful act, spoken from the kindness and heart and soul of a human that took the time to educate themselves and find others and volunteers to take the time to care for the physical health and well-being, to promote this information to others, to their parishioners, to help their health, prevent their health from suffering and failing, and of animals' health, and loved pets, and of all living creatures, and of all nature. And to mention in the third part, as I stated, of this Holy Mass, after first part of physical health of all and well-being, helpful, informative tips, then the spiritual being of the human virtues, how they can use them to selflessly help others without expecting anything in return, being humans that are earth angels, to be educated by what is put on the websites of each congregation, church, Vatican, that these ministers take the time to care, priests, pope, all evangelists, prophets, rabbis, Dalai Lama, religious, all Islamic, Buddhist leaders, to the millions of parishioners tuned in and see right away these short, informative, holy, caring, merciful masses to prevent the suffering of humanity, kids and animals, elderly, disabled, of all ages. Physically, then spiritually promote helpful tips about this, humans to learn from, to speak these words, what the ministers, pope, and all religious leaders tell their parishioners, that information they found, and volunteers, and then they put on their sites to tell them to kindly listen, use patiently, attentively, use their virtues, gifts of spirit. These are highly valued by the heavens, to be followed as a Jesus example, to spiritually do right, be clean-minded, good role models for all, especially the little children, to all humans of all religions, of all ethnicities, of all ages and old people, disabled people, to respect the souls of the little and all innocent animals and pets of all living creatures, to mention all these pets and animals. They do have a kind hearted soul, probably the most kind hearted of all. Their simple existence brings joy to the hearts and souls of all who see them. They are earth angels in that way, and of all nature, to remind humans to speak these words and tell others to promote and speak this or post online and tag humans, easily done, to share this to the world as soon as possible, to promote the use of virtues, to remind humans of a valuable life that each has, including nature. Even it is stated simple facts that a human speaking kindly from its kindness in its heart and soul to a flower or tree will help that plant grow. It is a living being. These are simple facts that humans that learn these in about animals, humans, and nature, and there are millions of people would volunteer in their congregations, parishes, for the priest's job to find these individuals if they didn't learn about this, to help them, to put these once in a while, the same even simple basic nutrition and caring facts that I state, and add over time different ones. There's been research done for years. It's easily accessible online on different well-known basic medical sites. The World Organization of Animals. There's the World Health Organization. There's different pins of credible individuals that took the time and cared, did research, found helpful, nutritious, simple, easy to make food items with the proper nutritious ingredients that are proper to humans to have essential, basic, proper physical health that they need to function properly as a human being and rightly deserve. To know these things, to find these online, to put them on this each congregation or parish website, archdiocese site, the Vatican, all holy sites and lords, all in Jerusalem. You have to act now. This is the new Holy Mass. It is modern day, COVID and very strange times. All online masses, as you know, are online. Promote the health, physicality of a human, as I stated, remember and speak this to all parishioners, belongs to God. Brain, physicality, organs, souls down to the tiniest cells, molecules, human brain, mind, soul, life force included, all belong to God and are to be cared for and respected by all. Right now, this includes all physicalities of humans, animals, living creatures, and the nature. It is the ministers, priests, prophets, evangelists, nuns, monks, the Pope himself, Francis, all, the Dalai Lama, all in the world, to educate themselves, to promote the health and well-being of basic physiology as stated, anatomy, how the basic human physicality functions to help humans understand at their level as children, starting then throughout the years, and to provide any things they learn throughout life to help other humans that don't know about these things, are not educated in human health matters. There are millions, unfortunately. Would love to hear simple facts that others humans studied, even like life sciences, that don't have the ability to learn these things, medical terminology, simple things that other humans live through, to post on these sites at a normal human level, to care from the kindness and hardened soul, do a merciful, kind, compassionate act. These are virtues, as the example set by Jesus to his disciple. This is what the ministers are to do, and Pope was supposed to for 100 million years. Not have humans suffering going to a mass, especially when it wasn't COVID, freezing in temperatures, didn't tell them to stay home most of the time, to rest on Sundays when God is sleeping, and rest on Sundays. And most religions, such as Catholic, stated, or Saturdays, depending on which religion, is a day of rest. Keep in mind, promote this as well. Tell the humans, please listen to what I'm speaking to you and understand that Sunday or Saturday, depending when the Holy Mass is not a day of worship, it is a day of rest. After a long work week, a long study week for children, humans, adults of all ages, all humanity knows this, religious or not. God created the universe, and even God rested on Sundays. Some religions, as I stated, have a day of rest celebrated on Saturdays, but this is a day of rest. A human has to rest to have proper physical health, as God intended. Humans need to have proper physical health. The ministers, pope, priests have to tell parishioners to have proper physical health in order to be a temple for the Holy Spirit, to know and then learn the virtues and to use them. To do that kind acts, to have enough energy from food, such as glucose, to smile even, to perform this kind act, to selflessly smile in the direction of a human, so that they know they are not alone, so that they smile, they have joy brought to their hearts and souls, their lives made easier to live, because you took the time to remember them and smile. Do a kind, selfless, compassionate, merciful act, as Jesus did as a role model, but be a human earth angel doing. And then you relieve the suffering of a human being that was alone, that was sad. You brought a smile to them simply by caring enough to smile in their direction, or to say a kind word, to be educated about a human, to know what they like, to mention something to make them smile, to kindly mention something to make them laugh, to bring joy to their hearts and souls. Then they are not suffering anymore. These are other There are other charitable, selfless, caring, compassionate, kind, merciful acts. Then using these virtues of kindness, compassion, caring, being patient, attentive to the needs of others, understanding the needs in the ways they need to be helped to prevent their suffering, such as humans that are homeless, humans that are hungry, that don't have enough nutritious food, humans that are thirsty, don't have enough water, humans that don't have enough clothing, humans, there are many millions of humans rather that don't have the basic necessities of life, unfortunately still in the world, and half living in too cold temperatures and half too warm. So as ministers and priests, Pope, to please mention this and keep this in mind. As I stated, mercy, a very important virtue to have, that all humans have, is the compassion and kindness shown to someone, and it is an act meant to relieve someone of their suffering. There are the 7 corporal works of mercy. These are: number 1, to feed the hungry. When you have resources to do, or find someone that you know if they're hungry, to help them. Number 2, to give drink to the thirsty. Keep in mind to treat humans as you want to be respected. You don't ever want to be thirsty. You don't ever want to be hungry. You don't ever want to have a lack of clothing. You always want to be safe. You want to be at peace. You want to be, as a human, respected in all ways that you deserve. You always want a home, safe home to live in warm temperatures. It is you, as a human, remember and minister the Pope and everyone to mention in these holy masses to their million parishioners that tune in every Sunday, Saturday, or daily masses, to put this on their websites of these congregations, sites, the parishes, sites of churches, holy grounds that are closed but are online holy masses, to be these merciful, informative, caring, compassionate sessions from caring, compassionate, human, individual, God and Jesus representatives on earth, speaking from the heart when their virtues selflessly without expecting anything in return, using the gifts of the Spirit, of the Holy Spirit, informed to let others know what these works of mercy are, when they have enough physical health, as promoted first in the Mass, explained and how to maintain it through helpful tips, and online to put on the congregation and sites in Vatican for all parishioners to access easily every week. The main tips to keep there all the time, information to promote the proper health and well-being, basic physiology, anatomy, basic exercise, proper tips for all humans, animals, pets, and nature. Then the second step is promoting spiritual being, as I stated, for all humans to hear this from each minister, the Pope, all religious leaders to their parishioners. These 7 corporal works of mercy, to help them learn it, post them on your sites. Part of the new Holy Merciful Mass. An informative, helpful session. The 7 corporal works of mercy are to feed the hungry, to give drink to the thirsty, to clothe the naked, to shelter the homeless, to visit the sick, but be careful, keep in mind COVID times and variant strains. If someone is sick, to be take this time to educate yourself what they are sick with, if it is safe for you to visit them. If you cannot, then remember the sick are alone, they are already suffering. So for you to take time and remember them on Sunday and rest, don't travel to places of worship that have to be closed, avoid it during COVID and variant strain times anyway. And use that time to watch the new informative Holy Mass to learn something helpful about health, promotion of humans, animals, and their well being and of nature, spiritual virtue used to help others, and then up to date COVID information, the third part of the new Holy Mass, and then to rest and then take the time to use your virtues you learned about and health facts and to contact someone that is in a long term care facility, that is sick, that is alone, suffering, to be educated in these matters and help them any ways you human possibly can, or to find someone who can in proper timing, to even simply put a human health is drastically improved, dramatically that is, if a human remembers another human and sends them a proper sanitizer card, or to greet them online over the phone, to simply phone them, they know that they are then remembered, these sick people, a lot brain damaged, humans injured, people in quarantine, suffer long hours alone, don't have any friends, would love humans to call them anytime, even once a day, many times a day, remember they are alone, to bring joy to their lives. So they have someone to talk to. Then the time goes by and they have someone nice to talk to. They have smiles on their face. Joy is brought to their hearts and souls. Their health is drastically improved because they are happy. The brain physical health improves overall in that way alone. In that way, you being a human and an earth angel, you selflessly chose and accomplished from the kindness and heart of your soul a merciful act, such as Jesus would do, to bring joy and health, well-being to another human being, then that was not left alone by you. You didn't leave alone the lonely. You relieved their suffering. They are not alone. Their lives are made easier to live, and you brought heaven on earth to them. The sixth corporal work of mercy, but this is when it's safe to do by certain individuals, to visit the imprisoned. And the seventh one is to bury the dead. Then, after this, separately, there are the seven spiritual works of mercy. The first one is to counsel the doubtful, to be educated, that is, in the needs that a human has, and to intelligently tell someone what they're in doubt about, to help them with helpful information, to relieve this. This second spiritual work of mercy is to instruct the ignorant. The third spiritual work of mercy is to admonish sinners. The fourth one is to comfort the afflicted. The fifth one is to forgive offenses. The sixth one is to bear wrongs patiently. The seventh one is to pray for the living and the dead. Short, selfless prayers. These are intercessory prayers from within the kindness of a heart and soul of a human to care enough to pray for others. Please remember to keep it short. Tell the ones in heaven if they accomplish the next step of healing, peace brought to those humans to help the poor, depending what this intercessory, selfless human prayer for another human is. And if they didn't accomplish the supernatural healing, the next step that heaven is required to do right away, please let them know. And tell God that He's supposed to prevent humans from suffering. He created in His own image, animals, creation. But you saw someone suffering in a certain way. You selflessly prayed for them. You didn't God accomplish, or Jesus who you prayed to, Holy Spirit, the next supernatural step to relieve their suffering. Tell that God is not acceptable. You had to already care for this human animal nature that you prayed for, but you didn't. I cared enough to pray for them, for you to let you know in heaven, to help them on earth, but you didn't do anything. It's not allowable. Every human that you know has God the gift and dignity in them, a valued human to be respected by God Himself, the holy grace of loving God, to care for His humanity, all animals, living creature, and creation. You said you were this truth spoken word God of your own, but you did nothing. This human animal or this part of nature is still suffering. Please get yourself from heaven, send all assistance, miracles to this individual, a human prayed for, animals, nature for peace, and accomplish it right away. Then, when humans let them know through short prayers, avoiding to pray holy rosaries, then heaven will hopefully do it when it's recorded in every human. Keep in mind to mention this in your Holy Mass, put on their holy congregation sites, archdiocese, the Pope, Vatican sites, holy sites, Jerusalem, all the main churches, Holy Mary and Lourdes sites, Częstochowa, Jasnogora, to put on their sites to care, to do these selfless acts as Jesus as human would do, to inform humans, to save their health as Angelica and Earth Angel, through experience, learn different things and choose to help save the health and prevent the suffering of all humanity, animals, pets, living creatures, kids, the elderly, and all nature and creation, for all humans. For all these ministers, popes, priests in the world, to put on their sites and to speak this to humans, to never physically kneel, to save their health, circulatory system, veins, knees, skin, sense receptors, stretch receptors, nervous system, basically, so they don't strain or inadvertently by accident injure their spines, muscles, knees, kneecaps. To remind humans they are, by God, Jesus, and Holy Spirit, never obligated, never have to kneel physically to them. out of respect of their own health, which is most important. A human cannot heal their knees, damaged veins while kneeling, a strained back, especially all humans, the Catholic ones, kneelers or not. Don't kneel, save your health. These are God spoken words from a caring human or the angel that needs to be spoken by every minister, priest, rabbi, all religious Presbyterian Protestant leaders, the Pope, Dalai Lama, all in Islam especially. I care. I don't want them to suffer anymore, to spread this and put on their sites online in holy, merciful masses to prevent the suffering of these kind hearted humans. To tell them to don't kneel, don't bend over, especially in Islam, Muslim, to bend over on bended knees many times a day with their head down, straining their back, their knees overstretched, many cells, veins damaged, hurt. Most poor don't have the calories to do this. To pray to God, Allah, known as Adonai, Yahweh, depending what name, but there's one holy God, doesn't want any human to kneel physically to him ever, to Jesus, to the Holy Spirit, to Holy Mary, to the holy archangels, angels, saints in heaven, because they want everyone, all humans of all religions, to be healthy. Physical health is most important, and to tell your parishioners and everyone to remind them of this. The most merciful, selfless act you can do is to speak this, to prevent the health failing and suffering, and put it on site along with this information rather. Type it up, put it there, mention every week in every new holy mass for humans not to physically kneel, to pray. Save your health. Children, save their health and lives. Tell all parents, caregivers, educators in elementary schools, high schools, universities of all kinds, nurseries. To tell all of them is a serious matter. To tell them and tell the children never to kneel physically. To pray. They are never required to kneel while praying. It is most important when they're growing new cells to not overstretch, damage their knees, spine, nerve, circulatory system, heart. Their health is more important. They have to rest while growing as children. Simple facts like this to promote and care for these children who are the future of this world. They don't want injured knees while growing to kneel to pray. Jesus doesn't want anyone to kneel and harm their health by accident praying. Millions of humans did in the world. Almost nothing result of this anyways, except human health failing. Because they kneeled, damaged the knees, were crippled for life, strained damaged nerves, veins on the knees, skin overstretched, and these stay that way for life and can't be healed. Blood flow restricted in veins on knees to the rest of the circulatory system to the heart and brain. And it's not worth a human health failing to kneel. Even on kneelers, it is not safe for humans to kneel, so don't kneel to pray. Heavens don't want you to kneel to pray. Sit comfortably, well rested, on a cushion. Kindly think in your heart and soul to the heavens. If you care enough, then pray for others. And that is most important. And let them know in heaven if their next step, holy supernatural healing or protection, or what you prayed for peace for someone, was actually accomplished right away. Let them know if it wasn't and tell them they were morally obligated under God to accomplish this on earth. to answer this prayer right away, of a human, a child that cared enough when is suffering to see what God left supposed to care for, but it didn't do his job on earth to maintain health, homes for all, shelter, caring and nurture his creation throughout the years. And you prayed for them, and he didn't accomplish the next step to even heal them, to put a proper world leader, pope, peace, shelter. You cared enough to let him know, and hopefully then when it's recorded in human soul, everyone's brain, mind, thoughts, actions, when a human prays is recorded by heaven in them, then hopefully sooner the heavens will figure out that they had to do their job, as supposed to be stated for years, and not to pray. This is the next thing to put on the site, every congregation site, in addition not to kneel, for all humans not to hold the Holy Rosary in their hands in a prayer position, to not pray as well while their hands are together, to never put their hands together to save their health. Tell children, teach them at early age, save their health. And two, for humans, as God stated, never put your hands together with your palms together in front of you to pray. Rest your hands on the side on your lap in a neutral human position. Then you will have proper blood flow. You will not strain your heart, overstretch cells. You will not damage your hands when you put your hands together with your palms together, and damage your wrists in a position that humans cannot possibly move their hands to a praying position with their hands together, fingertips and palms, bottom of hands together. Humans are not required ever to put their hands together like this because they cannot. It is not proper to human health. Human health fails, and God does not want this. This is humans praying, put their hands together and holding a holy rosary for 100 million years, Catholics especially, in all religions, and harmed their health, and had damaged, overstretched palms of hands, wrists, veins, heart, strength, poor to begin with not enough nutrients to handle this. After going to long distances to places of worship, already dehydrated on the way or freezing to death in cold temperatures, and then praying, putting their hands a million times during a holy mass. The old one, which I'm against, is a human health all failed when getting there with no food, and too cold, underfunded churches, places of worship, half world too cold, half too warm. When the humans then finally got there, sit an hour and suffering, already dehydrated, hungry, thirsty, then have physically doing movements of putting hands together to pray, strain the heart, kneeling, damage the knees, back, muscles, veins, arteries, strain the heart, burn calories when they're too tired, is considered like human exercise to move the hands. The children damage this for life, cannot heal it. Old people did for years. They suffered 100 million times doing it. Is done in a human basic one holy mass for years, and then put the hands together and the kneeling many times throughout one mass in itself. When a human already gets there with no calories and not well rested on Sundays, supposed to be stay home and sleep like God intended, to rest after a long work week or study week. A human is too tired, gets up early. Their physical health is harmed. Children, adults, not being informed, traveled far into cold to warm temperatures, burned the calories, were better off at home, got to these places of worship, too warm or too cold for another hour, the body strained, burning more calories, too tired. Most sleep through the mass anyway because they're too tired, overexerted getting there. Then they put their hands together, harm the wrists, million people, even holding a rosary. If they actually pray the Holy Rosary, which I'm against, put it online. I am a devout Catholic, know from experience that praying the Our Father and Hail Marys a million times in the Holy Rosary accomplishes nothing. the holy side from heaven to actually do more, to answer any prayers, 100 million years. Short prayers would count, what the intent is only, could be safely done from within a human warm home, is record in human soul where it is, physically, not where they go to a holy ground. There are no holy powers added in any holy church ground. Keep in mind, and during COVID times, stay home, avoid all places worship public, where the spread of virus could happen, and variant strains that change forms and mutate will spread faster, and there are no vaccines or cures. Humans will suffer 2 weeks respiratory ailments. Kids lose their lives, animals, loved ones, and die. This spread will continue, and no one will be able to stop it, and millions will suffer, and endlessly there'll be no less jobs. No, kids will never return to socialize, be happy. Lives lost, caregivers lost, children will have no parents, humans no homes. This has been going on for over 4 years. These are simple information, facts that a priest, minister, pope, rabbi, all in the world have to mention online as long as COVID goes on to remind humans why the places of worship have to be closed, all Catholic schools, all schools, cafeterias, dining areas. Put this online. I put other recent videos. These are to save the health and lives of millions of people, to educate them this way, as if Jesus educating, speaking through ministers, other people taking time as a Jesus example. Humans to care mercifully, to inform people what they learned. I speak what I learned, seen million times over years experience, to prevent the human health failing and suffering. To humans put this in the third part of this holy mass. These COVID basic facts, as I stated, to mention them as much as needed every Sunday or every daily holy mass online. To mention these simple facts, to remind and inform humans educatedly from the kindness, heart, and soul, a merciful act, to prevent the health failing and suffering of children, adults, spreading of it to animals, is coronavirus and variant strains. This exact information that keep in mind humans that already have the third or fourth booster shot still might get a different variant, different mutated, changed form strain of the coronavirus that they are not specifically vaccinated against to make antibodies to fight off this virus so they don't get symptoms of it. There are different variant strains right now, changed forms. That's why viruses are dangerous. When they exist too long, they start changing forms, they mutate, they spread faster, become more virulent, travel further distances, they travel further in the cold and winds. This is simple information that I learned and other humans learn, that the priests, ministers, and pope, rabbis, 100 million world have to mention in these holy, informative, merciful mass sessions. Simply every week in the third part of this holy mass until COVID and variant strains are gone. Every holy mass, Sundays, Saturdays, depending what it is, to put this information, up-to-date information sites, World Health Organization link sites for parishioners easily to find these simple facts but helpful to all. What are the most recent proper masks? The N95 masks. They're made of polypropylene. The material is made out of, to make sure the masks inform all parishioners, humans, that these masks have to have an expiry date on the packaging. If a mask is expired, the chemicals and molecules they're made out of break down. They do not then work to prevent the spread of viruses. and a human might get ill while wearing it. So do not purchase them if they don't have an expiry date on the box, and if they are expired past the expiry date. There's a percentage filtration efficacy rating. Is a percent a number, 97%, 99%, stated on the packaging of the mask to prevent coronavirus from spreading and their variant strain, of how much the mask prevents these particles of the virus from spreading through this mask. This has to be stated on the packaging of every mask used to prevent the spread of coronavirus and variant strains. If it doesn't state this on the box, tell your parishioners, all religions in the world. This is very important. And if it doesn't state that it is to prevent viruses, then do not purchase the mask to prevent the spread of coronavirus and variant strains of it, because you will not be protected from it, from viruses. There are unfortunately 100 million masks that look like these medical blue and white and the 4th layer and 5-layer masks, but are only made to filter out some dust particles, not viruses. Some of them state they protect against bacteria, but bacteria, keep in mind, are different than viruses. They are two different things. In that situation, then look into the company that makes them, and ask them if they will actually help prevent viruses as well from spreading the coronavirus. And also, mainly, there is a certification number on the packaging, in some instances on the mask itself. This is a certification number of a company well known. There's the CSA, there's in the state the NIOSH, they have their own websites. These are certified companies that certify these masks, the N95 masks and the Asian one, K95. These are similar but not exactly made the same, the N95 and K95 masks. These are simple facts, but an educated person, me in life science medical terminology, had a hard time finding online. So for me to tell and ministers had to do, and Pope and world leaders, I made post pins. I did my own work, crippled though, but is there to kindly put these on your congregation websites, the New Holy Mass. Keep posting this and keep it there as long as COVID and variant strains go on in the world. Kind-heartedly help these humans, informed millions still not informed about this after 4 years. 100 millions of day and night lives lost because of these wrong fake masks sold without these three main percentage stated: the expiry date, the percentage of how much, if it was a virus as well, that it prevents from spreading to the material. Also the material it's made out of, polypropylene, most of them. These are facts that have to be put on, and a little post made, and information, the other one I just mentioned. Merciful, selfless, kind acts to prevent the health failing and spread of this virus to human loved ones, children, animals, pets with respiratory tracts, to prevent them, tell them from having respiratory breathing problems in their lungs, higher temperatures, fevers, nausea, aches, different symptoms. Humans suffer horrendously for 2 long weeks. Day to next night, the next day, the next night, 2 weeks, suffer horrendously and die. Two, for humans, remind them to wear a proper mask. Keep 2 meters away even while wearing a mask. To inform this exact information that when a human is breathing, they still, while wearing a mask, while not sealed entirely on their face, still potentially spreads if they have the virus from the sides of the mask. That's why they have to stay at least approximately 2 meters away from another human. This is considered social distancing. 6 feet away from another human, another child, from a pet, an animal with lungs, a respiratory tract, to prevent it from spreading the virus. To use proper hand sanitizers. For humans to do their part still. To stay away from well-known coffee shops, restaurant, dine-in areas where they sit. To take a mask off and eat. You don't know who's sitting there, where they came from, which strain of virus they might have. This is to keep in mind. Unfortunately, there were restrictions lifted recently of patrons, customers in certain places. Unfortunately, it's not to wear a mask. This is the worst thing in the world after millions of lives suffered, and there are worse different variant mutant strains of this coronavirus going on. It is not gone from the world. And the major coffee shops and dining retailers, and that's why I say to this and spread to world leaders, they're obligating Pope to close these places and indoor malls especially, cafeterias where school children are, all schools to close. To save the health and lives of millions of children, they are not being monitored in schools to wear masks all times, to stay away from other children 2 meters away. Humans are being negligent with this. If they're gonna have a child suffering for 2 weeks and die, they should not be working as principals, teachers, caregivers. They have pets, animals, humans walking, no masks, cold temperatures, wind spreading it. These are all things to consider while humans have to wear the mask. To be well rested, sleep, tell humans, eat food, stay home, avoid all places worship, indoor malls, where there's more than one store. Wash your hands with a warm soap and water. This simple fact alone kills the virus. Wash down the drain is more beneficial than hand sanitizers. Sanitizers help, but they don't entirely kill the virus on human hands. The surfaces, the virus is lasting on different surfaces longer than any other ones on human skin, animals' fur. Everyone needs to be cleaned. The animals need to constantly cared for. To kids to be monitored to stay away from the pets. This takes a lot of human rest, a lot of humans to be educated in what I spoke. These ministers, priests, pope have to put part of this new holy mass, the third part. COVID up-to-date preventative measures spoken at each holy, merciful mass each time, every Sunday. Catholics, Protestant, Presbyterian, Buddhist, Islamic. The Pope online has on Twitter, millions followers, religious leaders, Dalai Lama, humans tune in million viewers every day, TV shows, they have even the masses online put there on videos on YouTube to have to do their part. You all in ministers, even if you're the only one in the room, put a mask on, be a proper moral example. Humans get misinformed when they see world leaders not wearing a mask. Other humans are stupid mentioning this, that the virus is gone. It is not gone. It changed forms, many forms. There are many different variant strains. Omicron variant, Delta data sorry, rather Delta variant, Beta variant, and these ones have different subvariants. These virus change the forms. The vaccines, the third and fourth one, against the first original virus under the variant strain that is specifically made against to make antibodies against, do not prevent a human from getting a different mutant strain that exists. New vaccines need to be made and new cures, but there are none. So even humans were going to churches in place of worship. This still goes on, unfortunately. This is wrong under God entirely. The spread will never be stopped. It changed form as I stated. Children will never be able to socialize again without masks. People will never be able to exercise without masks. Already have to do, but only if safe to do alone. Animals' respiratory tracts will be suffering, dying. Humans losing jobs, already lost millions because to prevent the spread. Humanity will never return to being happy and healthy if this spread continues, and millions of people, especially on God's holy ground, these worship places, which most are too cold to warm anyways, as I stated in another recent video, to put on this holy mass to state and on sites every time to remind humans. During COVID, all these worship places are closed. Don't travel even if open to these places. Cold or warm, these places need to be proper temperatures for human health made. If they are not, the ministers and everyone don't open the doors. There has to be something changed in these places to put to made them to proper heating, proper places, not for a place to travel too cold to warm temperatures and then suffer a long sermon mass, which I just got rid of. Online masses are most beneficial. Humans stay home can access online on their iPhones anywhere in the world. Simple nutrition, physical health based, promoting facts, spiritual facts of using their virtues, certain helpful information still about the heavens, God, Jesus examples, the Holy Spirit gifts, the Holy Mary, the use of virtues, her, be pure of heart like her, a kind example. The all archangels, angels, guardian angels, to respect them and apostles. New Testament, certain stories, authors that are to only use that are beneficial, ministers, priests, pope, that will be beneficial to the humans at the time in modern day. If you think it's useless and not going to help anyone, the Old Testament useless partial sentences, leave it out of the holy masses, get rid of it entirely, even from studies, elementary, high school, university curriculums. Put this on sites, inform people. Don't waste your time online, people trying to overanalyze, trying to figure out the Old Testament wordings. They have no meaning because there's not even entire sentences. People viewing, trying to figure out what they're saying is a waste of human health and life. Humans have only one life to live. Inform, show a good role model, these ministers, priests, the Pope, 100 million, all religious leaders there are, archbishops, bishops, cardinals, monks, nuns, kind hearted humans. And then the third step, as is stated online on their congregation websites, actual ones, post this information stated. Keep posting it, keep reminding humans, tell them to act. Excuse me. To do what the ministers are promoting this information, for them to act, use this information proper to help promote it, to speak to others when safe or online these days, to prevent COVID spread and variant strains. Humans love to hear information that they don't know. There are a lot of million people that are not educated or couldn't afford, when after learning basic university or high school, when they go from high school to university, most people beyond that cannot learn any medical terminology, higher level nutrition studies. Is most people in the world, they cannot learn this. They're those humans that learn this information, such as myself, life sciences, other doctors, have done research for years. They summarize this, some helpful in some videos, and some kind little posts summarize the basic nutrition facts that humans need. Certain human health facts, such as that I'm going to state for physical health, the first part of the Holy Mass for humans to keep in mind simply, even when they chew their food, that when they chew carefully, slowly, that they use their teeth to break down the food into tiny particles. Then digestion starts in the mouth. To use in their saliva, there's the digestive enzyme. Digests, then it starts digesting the food in the mouth, the drinks, and then human souls digested into the stomach and already broken down enough to the tiny vitamins, minerals, glucose needed and easily digest in the stomach and absorb in the intestines to bloodstream, to muscles, anywhere the brain needs, circulatory system, veins, muscles, bones. This simple fact alone saves the health of 100 million people that even don't know about this because they never learned it. And online, morally obligated now to post simple facts like this and keep it on a section all the time of proper basic human nutrition and other simple main facts that I'm going to state now for all ministers, priests, pope to put on their congregation websites to state in this holy, merciful, helpful new holy mass shortly on Sunday, their daily mass in the online versions of the mass. Not these lengthy 1 hour sermons, useless, that humans already suffer their health and shouldn't also keep in mind, tell parishioners in the other part I mentioned, well, not to physically kneel, not to put their hands together, palms to harm their hands, and never to make the sign of the cross. To move their hand, mention the name of the Father on the forehead and of the Son, and put their hand near the belly, and then cross past the center position, and formal parishioners of all religions, please save their health and lives after a million years, to never move their hand past the center of their physicality, to reach to the left shoulder with their right hand, to make the next part of the sign of the cross, to mention the Holy Spirit, and then move it back and after overstretch the arm and damage the spine and connect the muscle cells and nervous system and heart circulatory system, burning calories, poor people work hard to buy food to do this, and to put their hand on the other right shoulder to finish mentioning in Holy Spirit, and then put on the squish of their hand, moving the wrist, can't possibly physically do that, are never required by God to do, out of respect of their own health, and then put their hands together with the palms and harm the wrists in physical health in a million ways by making the sign of the cross alone. To tell all humans parishioners to never make the sign of the cross ever again, never pray the Holy Rosary lengthy ones. The Our Father separately post and all parishioners to hear this as well, and ministers, Pope, everyone to mention. And the new Holy online Mass, keep reminding humans that the Our Father, standard prayers, Holy Mary are to be an informative piece for humans to use them as a reference to put on the site to review if they need the information. But it is not, keep in mind, a human job to pray any lengthy, any standard prayers. It is the new way for humans to is more beneficial and of use for human to shortly mention their intent in brain, mind, heart, and soul, what they are praying for or who, to the heavens, then let them know of their healing and accomplish the next step from heaven. If not, let them know right away that it's supposed to be done from heaven to relieve the suffering wasn't, and tell them they have to do their job on the earth, what they're supposed to be doing but didn't, and you cared enough to pray. Then hopefully the heavens will fix this, hopefully on earth immediately. Put online requests, whoever runs these, to find more prayer holy group sites while the all parish halls are closed, all places worship during COVID and various strains, to prevent the prayer groups people join putting in groups praying and going to these worship places can't, to prevent the spread, to put online links to actual real sites for free. Keep in mind, God's any human praying, any God side service is to be free for help on God's side. In a holy site in France to Lourdes, in Lourdes to Holy Mary. In Jerusalem, the Church of Holy Sepulchre, to be more accessible online sites to be made. The Pope to accomplish this finally. In Częstochowa, Jasna Góra, while there's a COVID going on, people can pray in prayer groups to pray themselves and to put their prayers, say in a group offered this prayer for a certain cause or human for healing at these sites to be put online. These main holy sites until the virus and variant strains are gone from the world. Humans can't pray their prayer groups together in these public places of worship because they're closed and have to be closed, avoided by all humanity. During COVID and variant strain time still is entirely gone. To save the health and lives of millions of kids, humans, the elderly, keep in mind simple nutrition facts, physical health caring as such as this, that the elderly old people throughout their lives cannot absorb nutrients and vitamins as much, have to rest more when they get older. So they have to care for their health throughout their lives and starting as children to absorb as many nutrients they can from nutritious food, to sleep while they're growing children, to rest before they learn something, to have a nutritious food, enough warm shelter for their physical health to be normal temperatures and around them to function properly, of brain proper and physical health, so that when they are older throughout the years, then their health will be less problematic. It will have already built up certain nutrients that the body actually can build reserves on and stay healthier longer. As they get older, when they can't absorb nutrients as a state as much. These are simple facts learned over time. Those that are more educated that learn these have to help these ministers volunteer if needed with the physical health, basic human nutrition facts. Keep posting these, the simple ones I learned stated, other basic physiology, functions of human physical brain health, simple even other health concerns, a blog on the church actual website of humans that suffer different things and don't and learn something beneficial or nutrition facts to help prevent the health failing and suffering of other parishioners can view on one holy congregation site, the church site, archdiocese site, the Vatican site. Humans from that parish alone can put helpful hints there, tips that they learn, and care enough to put there. Informed priests can easily put on modern day, put onto their sites links if needed, proper to help to save millions, 100 people in each congregation or 1,000 will view once every Holy Sunday in this new Holy Mass. Be informed, save their health with that information, and live a healthier life and happier one all their life because of it. A human or the angel human cared enough to share what they suffered or learned through education that others can afford, that they think is beneficial to take the time, parishioners and priests to know, to tell, let their other people, humans, know, takes action on the part of humans, Millions already seen suffering will learn things. Please take the time. What you learned you think will help human. There are 100 million people that would love to learn this. Put on these sites. Put your own little video sites. This will help 100 million people potentially to save them from suffering anything that you did. Their health from failing will be prevented. Every human is a valuable human, has a one life to live, deserves to live through heaven on earth, to be healthy of physical and brain health, to have a proper guide of virtues to use, spiritual well being, good morals, to be in company of those of others of good morals when spread, of proper etiquette, and then properly informed of up-to-date coronavirus and variant strain information as I stated on the sites and the Holy Mass to push this issue of preventative measures, to tell humans to act certain things. When they hear this, then they will more likely act upon something to spread information properly, to tell them to check this site when they need to review information. The parish sites all online, in the world, every religion, under God, morally obligated to do ministers. If they're not willing to do this, they cannot make their paycheck under God. They have to find someone that will care for the 100 or 1,000 million parishioners under them that would tune in, that would go to their masses if this virus wasn't going on. The Pope himself, he's the head number one human representative of God on earth, has all resources to do this, accomplish proper funding for health and world leaders to deal with, to accomplish they have money to do, help all orphaned, homeless humans to have shelter, basic necessities, so they're never hungry, thirsty, to teach these merciful, kind, compassionate acts. Vatican website, Pope is in Francis. They're all leaders on Twitter. They have the million followers that tune in every day. Could post this information about New Holy Mass immediately. Put this video there. Spread it to all main archdioceses. Then they spread it to 100 ministers, priests under they have contact information. Then they make the new Holy Mass immediately. What I stated, they have their online websites already. They have the resources. A lot of people would love to volunteer, even hire the Pope, tell them to put funding to help this website, make them informative, helpful, merciful sessions of physical health to promote, spiritual virtue use health, and an up-to-date information about preventing coronavirus spread and variant strains. These are the three main parts of this. These started in February 2023 year. The new Holy Mass, started by a human earth angel, suffered over 42 years without God's assistance on earth, but had to be in my matters. I care to restore this, the health and physical and spiritual health and well-being of all humans, kids especially, kind little humans, of the elderly, disabled, for all humans to help and all world leaders restore this and use the funding to do their jobs finally or resign, and the Pope included, for funding to prevent the suffering of humans so they'll have a home, not homeless, in colder to warm temperatures, to have enough nutritious food. Advice about this on the new Holy Mass. That's what the intent of it is, to prevent and relieve the suffering of humanity in these ways stated of those corporal works of mercy of every human morally obligated when by free will of choice to do what they can as humans, and those in higher authority, the Pope, leaders, religious, all world leaders, as they heard to hear this spoken human earth angel message, real one. Angelica JAKIELA has God sent spoken words from the kindness, heart, and soul of Angelica JAKIELA, humanitarian, educated in all life sciences possible, human physiology, anatomy, animal ones, genetics, neurobiology, basic human nutrition, virology, bacteriology, genetics, statistics, every other applied medical lab, research assistant, all 4 year studies, medical terminology, and other 1.5 to in Christian religion studies. A well-rounded human with the sole intent of restoring as a human earth angel for all humans to be earth angels use their virtues to help restore and prevent the suffering of health and of all humanity, for everyone to be clean-minded in morals, use their virtues to care for others, perform selfless, kind, compassionate, merciful acts, educated in the needs of others, to help them in the ways they need, to relieve their suffering in the ways stated, to finally get rid of this homelessness, poverty, thirst, hunger, get rid of humans being lonely, alone without anyone there for them, including animals, nature, for humans to put these conservationists, kind-hearted humans, the top-down jobs to ministers to put these people to file complaints if the world leaders they see are not doing anything right. They have to keep in mind millions employed under them to help give basic necessity funding for all humans, disabled, housing for the poor, in too warm temperatures, especially half the world, and in Canada and states cold, most are poor and homeless. Despite what anyone says, it's true. Not enough food, not enough shelter. The world leaders made the $1 million, didn't do their job entirely under God to look into those they hired. They didn't hire the proper ones, medical staff. Made the $1 million, humans suffered, disabled, on the street, not enough food, not enough disability funding at all in any way to live, humans suffering, not enough food, shelter, suffering in the too warm temperatures. They have $1 million, even Pope with funding could. Millions people beyond poor there. Africa, every country there in the half the world, too hot temperatures, not enough water, shelter. Had to be funded for years, could easily do, but didn't do. This has to stop. It starts with these ministers, Pope, as I said, all religions, Dalai Lama. You have to be you're an example for the parishioners under you, potentially hundreds, the Pope millions, viewers every day. Look up to a human God represent on earth, a human that is speaking to humans as if Jesus was speaking, a human that cared to all his disciples, to all humanity, religious or not, a good moral, caring about human physical health and well-being, spiritual being, and of that to help prevent the spread of coronavirus and other bacteria virus in the world, to be educated up to date, to have all those ministering under him, evangelists, prophets, priests, ministers, archbishops, bishops, cardinals, vicar generals up to date on these three main points in the Holy New Mass is in effect already. Angelica need the Pope, someone, or to give me his contact number. Yeah, I haven't reached him despite contacting him in various ways. Didn't do his job to help me in previous ones for over 24 years. I suffered horrendously because of him not doing his job and other ones. Under God, they couldn't do this. And other million people as well. This old mass is gone. It is useless, it is harmful to human health, almost entirely for an hour. It is not an hour of worship. On God's day of rest, as I stated, everyone is to rest and sleep after a long work week, even as God, after created the universe, slept and rested on Sunday. Other religions may be on Saturday, but it's on the weekend to rest. Keep in mind, humans have to then be well rested, and the most poor have to work for basic necessities of life in too cold to warm temperatures the next day, Monday, throughout the week. So they have to rest on Sunday, not the rest of their life. All ministers are morally obligated under God to tell all humanity, especially COVID times, it's easier. Close all places worship. Do not risk your life getting up Saturday, Sunday, or any day of the week to travel in too cold temperatures, burning calories when you're poor. Save your health. And of children, especially they're growing, need to sleep in a warm bed on Sunday, rest before a long week of school the next week. Humans working. God is resting on Sunday. All humans rest on Sunday. Is a day of rest, not of worship. Care for your health. Save your own health. There are no miracle workers from heaven on earth to help you if you pray. Unfortunate, but it's true. I know from over 42 years' experience, and I am a devout Catholic, went on every Sunday, God's day of rest. I didn't even work on Sundays, told respect God. And where did that get me? They left me alone, not protected on earth, and my matters had to for over 42 years. I was even a child who dressed up snowsuits. Most children do in cold temperatures. Canada states millions, Catholic, Protestant, Presbyterian, all religions. Get up in the morning too tired after a long school or work week. Little children growing need to sleep or rest, not put in a snowsuit. By the time they leave the house, the temperature is too high, sweating. Then they go outside, is minus sub-zero temperatures. Then there's, even with a snowsuit, they're already high temperature is dropped too low and sweating, they freeze and get a common cold, which is a virus. We have a fever to fight it off, high temperature and ill for days. Might lose a school day, work week after. Little children growing don't have to suffer this way. To get up early when supposed to God's day of rest, actually on Sundays to sleep. All humans, please tell this to all caregivers, all parents of all children. Tell them to stay home, care for your health and theirs. Don't endanger your life and health, maybe getting virus on the way or coronavirus. Common cold is a virus, requires a human body temperature fever to fight it off. Needs fluids, a human is ill, might get us other health concerns, high temperature, keep in mind, damaged physical health, the brain. If a temperature fever stays too high for too long, human might have brain damage for life, even after a common cold. These are things that is not worth a human health, as God stated, to travel, get up on Sundays or Saturdays in any religion, Catholic, Protestant, mainly Presbyterian, Jewish, Islamic, Buddhist, Muslim, all Christian, any religion, to go travel too cold, get up early when too tired is already hazardous to health. And then burn calories that they worked hard to work. Poor people to burn to energy from food and travel into cold, endanger their life in snow, could use his money for gas money to stay home and use for food to help someone else. They're better off under God that way, and Jesus saved their own health and lives and that of others. Save pollution in the universe, and then go to danger their lives in snow and sleet and rain, holding umbrellas, strain their health, and go there by the time they get there with not enough food and cold building. All worship underfunded, not heated enough, or too hot in the warm countries, and another hour of human torture. Endless suffering of a human, nothing gets on God's side accomplished, except and separately only human health failing severely on a day when God is sleeping. God is resting on Sunday and Saturday. Because he worked the whole week and he's God, a supernatural entity, and still rested on Sundays. Humans need to rest because they're made of cells, organs, and they need food to function properly, and they have to sleep and rest. That's how humans function. If they don't have enough sleep, they cannot function their health properly, brain and physical health, and suffer. So it is best for all humans, ministers, Pope, everyone, tell humans stay home, especially COVID times. There's no point to going to worship places, suffering even when they open, when the virus is gone, and variant strains and there are other viruses, bacteria in the world. Save your health, sleep on Sundays, water the online short, new holy mass, get rid of the old one entirely useless. No more hands mentioned making sign of the cross. Tell all humans save their health lives, parishioners. No more singing useless hymns. I'm a Catholic myself. I am not mentioning anything wrong about hymns, anything about Holy Rosaries wrong, or anything that I stated to get rid of. I'm on God's side to save the health of humanity that I notice is useless. With the heavens no answer, is more beneficial for humans to save their health, to shortly train the soul, meditative, choose well and healthy, well rested. Let the heavens know if needs accomplished. If not right away, then let them know. Tell them straight to get themselves from heaven, fix it, heal what they need, supposed to care for humanity. Tell them the truth. More will be accomplished, hopefully soon, right away. Have to be. Human life affects one life of another and other animals, nature. Nothing has been maintained in order for 100 million years, unfortunately, by God on earth. He says an all-knowing, omniscient God to be supposed to be omnipresent, be there present, put the holy guardian angels on earth, put the Holy Spirit come, send some angels if needed, people praying right away, advice given to them. Kind-hearted humans prayed for years and I never even accomplished anything on earth what these kind-hearted humans deserved, what is to be never left alone, to have present all these holy in heaven on earth to guide them proper morally, to help them, to keep the peace in the world, keep natural disasters away from kind humans. This is not what they did on earth. This is disgraceful. Any priest minister that says pray to God, God love humans, please stop saying this. Tell rather to all your parishioners and the Pope, please, in the new Holy Mass is informative, merciful, caring, kind session from the heart. Be a preacher as such as like Jesus when he was a human on earth, speaking intelligently from the kindness heart of his soul to inform humans what you learned. Find those that are the educated human physicality matters, nutrition, nutritionists. Some will volunteer gladly. Put a little blog side or part on the side, and every helpful different tips humans learned. Some nutrition specialists, basic nutrition, all humans love to know, but didn't learn, will save their health. Of animals need nutrition, especially during COVID times. Need antioxidants, humans to know about. The vitamin C, especially to help immune system, to help fight viruses. Vitamin E, vitamin A, the main ones. There's these new black seeds given to humans that help in cases of human health, beneficial to helping prevent coronavirus and variant strain symptoms, potentially decreasing mortality rate. These are things researchers working in world that humans find could take the time and put it on these holy masses, inform the ministers to put on their sites, to take a second know how to do, and then it will help a million viewers that tune in every Sunday to be informed about that, beneficial to their health. rather than suffering and to hear useless sermons and making sign of the cross, harming their health a million ways, holding the hands together, praying, holding a rosary, straining, damaging their health as I stated in a million ways, circulatory system, nerves, hands, singing hymns, useless, burns calories. Only if mentioning needed the praises to God, if he actually did something right, then tell him in your heart and soul easily, don't strain the heart. It is not required for humans to sing hymns. God doesn't want people singing hymns to him if they're gonna harm their health. Their health is more important. God is not on earth to heal anyone. Ministers, priests, get rid of, as I stated, put these online, holy masses, keep reiterating it, put it on this your congregation sites, all this information, put this video for all millions to hear, keep putting it there, save the health and lives of others, inform humans, tell the Pope to change the Holy Mass to what I stated. He can do, already did the work. He has to listen to this. The Dalai Lama, our world leaders can inform them, send this video. They can work on the sites already. They can send a graphics design person on a website. Make this one even accessible to the world. One Holy Mass from this. Give it to per other congregations can link this to their parishioners. And 100 million people lives will be saved. They have the resources financial to do, find nutritionists, guidance counselors, basic ones for animal nutrition care during virus too. They need new researchers funding to find some already did research for nutrition for animals to help their immune systems, animal beneficial food. As humans that love animals work with this can put on this site, contact Pope, put on a congregation blog site, New Holy Mass, informative, merciful, helpful session, kind act of informing others, put it on the line, be a human earth angel. Millions will view this, 100 parishioners, put it, send one human to another parishioner. If the priest thinks it isn't very important to spread to humanity the information a kind parishioner put there to help humanity, animals, nutrition, facts, exercise, to save their health, to post the links easily modern day to the other parishes, tell them to act for it, to the other ones, to the Pope, Twitter sites, millions some have followers, YouTube video, tell them to add subscribers to act now. Every second count. If this is done right away, 100 million lives will be saved. A human 100 million's health will be saved. Everyone will be happy. Their lives will have joy in them. No one will be suffering anymore. Heaven on earth will be restored to all as they deserve. Heaven on earth. Every human, a child, every old person, disabled, to be healthy, have a home, caring humans, to never leave them alone, to never be thirsty, never hungry, to be at peace, no war in the world, no natural pandemics, no natural disasters. Everyone have someone there for them. All humans have caregivers, never orphaned. Everyone human, as I stated, to be ministers and Pope, everyone, a human earth angel, part of this human worldwide earth angel movement, to use your virtues that you have, highly valued by heavens, not forced by anyone to do, by your human free will of choice, to selflessly, with the intent of helping someone, prevent the suffering, and always mention through those corporal and spiritual acts of mercy, which all ministers, Pope, rabbis, enrolled Dalai Lama promote in their new Holy Mass, effective immediately. They have to act now. They have the web designers, already have the pages. Speak one Holy Mass about this, informative, helpful, merciful session. prevent the health, physical health suffering by information educated individuals spreading this word to promote proper health, well-being, and respect of life of animals, humans, children, old people, disabled, of all nature, spiritual well-being, use of virtues to help others with this information to act, to tell them, and preventative measure, the third part, during COVID and variant strain times to prevent this spread at all costs. By all humans to inform other humans about this preventative measures. Angelika JAKIELA just stated what is the new Holy Mass. This has been a Holy Mass that was supposed to be in effect for 100 million years. In all religions would have saved the health and suffering of 100 million people, children, adults, old people, nuns, monks, evangelists, prophets, popes, of all religions, lay people, non-religious in the world, world leaders. If this Mass was made, as I stated just now, and enforced by kind ministers, Pope, all levels, Dalai Lama, for 100 million years in every country, in every religion, and humans, if they didn't travel, or had this idea to travel not in this cold and warm temperatures on Sundays and Saturdays when God is sleeping, resting, harm their health needlessly, still 100 million people. Children suffered, myself, colds, ill, fevers, too cold temperatures. God there accomplished nothing, harmed the health more during the Holy Mass, singing early with no nutrients, too tired to be alive. Harmed the health, put palms together, prayed rosaries, nothing resulted from it heaven's side. Humans cared enough to pray. Humans then prayed, listened to sermons, these mention Old Testament useless knowledge. Humans suffered for years. This online is true still. Ministers, some priests, I don't know where they get this information. It doesn't help anyone. They don't even get the words right. These old sermons, get rid of them, are gone. The whole old Holy Mass is gone. Every religion own ways. I know mostly about the Catholic ones, certain other ones I heard of, religious practices. But all of these, as the ones I stated here, the old ones gone that are not anything that's beneficial to human health in modern day, is not beneficial knowledge to be used to be heard by human ears, belong to God, need to hear kind words from a minister, priest, rabbi, beneficial to the health right away in modern times. If it's not going to be beneficial for a human to take the time and calories burned to hear this, then it's not worth mentioning in a holy mass. Out of respect of a human being, and priest ministers to leave out what you don't want to hear about that is useless to your health, is not beneficial to your spiritual being. You're a human as well as everyone else in Pope. You want to be treated with respect. You want to know up to date nutrition facts. You want to know how to be healthy, to promote, to be people treat you with respect, mention proper kind words, and to take the time to inform yourself to mention spiritual proper virtue uses. Then you have to do that, be a good example, and do that to humans. Take the time. If you're not, don't do your job. Under God, you cannot do this. Make your paycheck. You all know. Find someone, minister, priest who can, up to date, younger ones. The Pope, obviously too old, cannot do his job. and didn't properly in all ways that he had resources to do for years. This whole world has to have order restored. Everyone has to change this holy mass now, act now. You have the resources. Easily done online, websites created. You already have the websites, parishioners, some million viewers, YouTube, online sites, TV shows, put some online masses. Already have everyday humans tune in on news, million viewers. The Pope, Francis, million on Twitter every day, checking their online. Tell him to put this video there. Do his job to make the new Holy Mass, as I stated, exact words. Inform all those under him. These are bishops, cardinals. If they're not willing to do them, fire them. Most are too old, not doing anything is true. I was registered in churches. Offerings made even as a child, had it barely poor, but when they're told of made offerings, it is told, but this is beyond wrong to get to be then have to get sacraments given to help when the human gets baptized, have a child to get baptized, priest to help me. I was turned away when I needed God's help from a priest, and they all under God cannot do this. And I paid a human worked in a factory to learn and could have used the money for food, poor myself, and would put in offerings to the church. But clearly people put in never even any heating, never any useful sermons, never did anything proper. I studied religious studies. I could have made this in itself told. And the money given there and other parishioners over time never resulted from them ever have any benefit to health, anything learned beneficial spiritually. One or two New Testament sermons about Jesus, good example. The rest, humans kneeling, praying into cold, freezing, getting there. Became ill on the way there. Suffered an hour, basically falling asleep because too tired already when suffered getting there. Singing, praying, never did anything, resulted anything from heaven, ever doing anything on earth to help anyone there ever. And I'm a devout Catholic. I lost, suffered 20 years of doing this as a child alone. Millions children too. Needlessly suffered this way. Could have stayed home and slept. Be healthier. That's why I, from the heart, tell this for all humanity. Save your lives. Stay home. Sleep on Sunday when God rests, sleeps on Sunday. He worked, created the universe all week, even he slept. Sunday, Saturday, other humans sleep on Sunday. Save your money, health. When the church is open after COVID variant strains gone, this has to be changed to a place of proper care. If it's going to be proper temperatures to be funded enough for humans to go as God's holy ground for proper human health, then it can be open. But if it's not, then it's not worth opening to have humans travel in the cold to warm to go there to suffer for an hour. It would be already a new informative maybe center for proper health, a building made to be funded proper heating, humane for humans to go to maybe sell the property to more beneficial health or old person facility, depending what part of the city it is, easy, more accessible to certain humans for an animal care facility, someone somewhat caring in some way that is needed there in that specific city or place close by for humans that need without traveling far to be cared for, some nice counseling health center to put a pope and other ones to fund this instead of these Catholic underfunded, disgusting, inhumane cold churches, have the world too hot. This is a torture of humanity for millions of years, needlessly in cold to warm getting there. Has to be stopped. These are God's holy grounds, and never even holy powers protect me, and I need more than anyone alive. And never even result after me praying in heart and soul to Jesus. As I stated as well, keep in mind, don't repeat any prayers. Put this on the site as well of priests, ministers, monks, everyone, rabbis. Never for symbolic reasons repeat any words, prayers. Jesus, have mercy on my life and whole world. State what is true from the heart, what you're praying about. Never repeat this or mention these divine mercy chaplets, holy rosary. This is not what Jesus wants humans to do. It never results in anything from heaven. Actually, Jesus coming and healing anyone in 100 million years. It's true. That's why I said get rid of the holy rosary standard prayers. Simply state what the prayer is shortly. Save your health. And hopefully heaven have to do their part. Tell them that they didn't accomplish the next part supernaturally to heal, protect anyone, restore peace. And if they don't, let them know, how dare you? You're supposed to care. God, Jesus, mercy, cared enough to pray, help this human, you didn't. Maneuver more help from heaven. Angels supposed to be on earth. Jesus healing, do it. You're supposed to for years. And then do what you can as a human to help someone in the ways that only human can when heaven is not doing what they're supposed to on earth. To heal, make sure peace, no pandemics, no natural disasters, to care for humanity as God is supposed to do. This holy loving grace of God does exist, but for some reason he is in heaven, and Jesus, Holy Spirit do exist, supernatural entities, Holy Mary, all angels, archangels. I know it's true from experience in life, a human earth angel, but they are not on earth. They're no holy powers that they send to earth. Maybe one or two people have told this, and maybe 2, 3 miracles that resulted in humans being healed there right away, over 100 million years. All those who already learned, paid the money. Keep in mind, others can't learn this. From the kindest heart of your soul, work together with the priests, ministers, rabbis, Presbyterian ministers, Protestant ministers, Dalai Lama, Buddhists, and the Buddhist religious leaders, Muslim leaders, Islamic leaders. Save the health of all humanity. Get rid of all statues with the hands together of Holy Mary, Jesus, all holding the hands with palms together in a prayer position. Cover the hands of needed statues, images, get rid of online. Save the health and lives of millions of children, adults, humans after 100 million years. This is never a human job to put their hands together in prayer position and harm, stretch, damage the wrist. Please inform a human million people and so they don't damage the heart and nervous system doing it. Never put the hands together, never make sign of the cross. Save your health million ways by doing that alone. Never kneel, even on kneelers. God doesn't want you to strain your heart, make sign of the cross. God doesn't want you to sing hymns, straining your health. God doesn't want you to kneel on the ground, damaging your knees, veins, spine, muscles. God doesn't want anything harmful to happen to you. And Jesus, Holy Spirit, Holy Mary, who you pray to, archangels, saints, apostles, care for your health, promote this to others. You will be like an earth angel. Selflessly help others, inform them about this, and you will save health and lives of 100 million people. Act now. I can only say this once. My life force is too low. I am a human crippled, wronged on this earth. Not protected by God, but have to be. A human earth angel, if I could, as the world stated, be archangel, Angelica in heaven, restore all order, health in the whole universe for years already. Make sure all heaven maneuvered archangels, guardian angels to earth, doing what they're supposed to, the Holy Spirit, Jesus, divine mercy himself, Holy Mary, God, and the Holy Spirit to restore order, remove pandemics beyond human control, restore peace, make sure no wars, never leave a human alone after what did to me. I don't allow for, especially in humanity's scene. in millions of ways. I make sure no one is alone, put all holy powers, maneuvered holy grace of God, angels, guardian angels near every child, every animal, left not to make sure that they are protected, rather never harm everyone born healthy into this world, into a world also that is proper temperate temperatures for them health to be proper to function of brain and physicality, to get rid of all genetic disorders, cancers, autoimmune diseases, mental health concerns, depression, all different, the human immunovirus, all different, this coronavirus, pandemics of all kinds, fungus, bacteria, foreign to humans and animals, nature, all creation, that are beyond human control, that God is supposed to monitor so humans and animals, nature never affected by, and all living creatures, but he did not. Angelica chose to do research in all fields that I studied, but was not even protected to graduate. But I finished the studies and lost 24 years suffering, not protected by the heavens and supposed to have heaven and earth, but was blocked in my prayers to all heaven for healing for all. Anyone I cared millions didn't get through. A human earth angel suffered horrendously on earth, didn't accomplish what I chose on earth and had will to do, and would have saved 100 million lives, find vaccines, cures, treatment for all. Over 24 horrendously long years, but God didn't protect these on earth. And is supposed to do, and I very offended as a Catholic devout. Jesus offended my kind heart soul. Holy Spirit is not to protect me to accomplish this, a real human earth angel, despite millions intercessory prayers for me. Then something didn't get through, blocked even more in past months. I was tortured, alive, and couldn't accomplish what I need to finish on earth to help humanity. Jesus, Holy Spirit, and God left me alone. Like all creation, they am supposed to protect by them personally in these matters. They did not. I against them all overthrew the heavens. If this got through, would be accomplished, and all heaven restored for all humanity, animals, creatures. I would make sure of it already done, but I can only do on earth, and I need humans to help me. Don't have the contact information of all archdioceses, parishioners, they do, the Pope phone numbers, the world leaders. I gladly deal with them. These are all I have is these videos. And I type what I could, essentially best I could, what I mentioned in the videos. Please protect these. These are only ones. This is what the world information humans needed to know and to think of on God's side, to respect all other humans for a million years, but even maybe no one had this idea. And to mention this information, Angelica, human earth angel, I'm mentioning a message God sent. This is a human earth angel. I'd make, if I had the money, put into proper places, areas, and this replace all holy grounds with an, even put our Angelica, JAKIELA, earth angel, human earth angel movement, merciful help center. If I had the millions of dollars, funding would do. When COVID gone, obviously, and the variant strains, put it into helpful centers for those who need in that certain area where the parish or worship place is located. These are holy grounds to help physical and spiritual well-being and health of all. They were never used for these purposes. Unfortunately, human millions suffered for years, misinformed, even by, I don't know if these saints even told the truth, such as Saint Faustina saying Jesus appeared to mention to pray these chaplets. The millions prayed these chaplets, strained their heart, and Jesus never appeared to help anyone. It would have been better if they told Jesus to, as he stated, he would never leave humanity alone. When he died, had more powers and would help humans on earth, but didn't do anything. He is the mercy. I know, seriously, sir, to in the soul, brain, mind. He has supernatural powers that more I have a human other don't have. Of holy protection I have on earth. In together time with my praying abilities a normal human of thought, mind, soul. That Jesus has more holy powers than this, supernatural and holy grace of God healing abilities, but is not doing anything on earth to protect me, had to, and 100 million people and children to heal what God left on the earth, not running in order, not all in proper health. Could have protected and healed for 100 million years, even after prayed these holy rosaries, these divine mercy chaplets, as I tell every minister pope, get rid of it. Any holy rosary that requires a standard Our Father, Hail Mary, especially not make sure parishioners tell never to repeat anyone more than once. Their health is more important, no one's gonna heal them. Simply state the intent of the prayer is more valuable to God and Jesus that you care enough to pray for someone else. Let them know if the miracle happened right away. If not, then they'll know it's recorded in every human soul. And hopefully heaven will come and get themselves from heaven and do right away what they're supposed to do on earth. If more people told them straight in heaven instead of praying these useless chaplets and strenuous holy rosaries, then they would have been told straight how God is supposed to care for humanity, made in his own image, and help them for years. And Jesus, the divine mercy true, with their holy powers, loving grace of God, I know can perform miracles that a human spine can be miraculously healed, straightened in a split second, and cells grown miraculously out of nothing. Millions of muscle cells miraculously out of nothing in a human, even when appointed they're dehydrated and suffering, could be healed and protected this way. Miracle workers could be provided on earth like Jesus with these abilities for years, have not. The God and people would spend more time telling God, you can do this, help this, would be accomplished more than people praying this holy rosary, mentioning Our Father, Hail Marys 10 million times and accomplish nothing. Unfortunately, even after they prayed these holy rosaries, they would at least have the decency, that God and Jesus, to get themselves from heaven and see that people cared and prayed all this. Could have told them not to pray all of it, but did and really do something miraculous. They didn't even do anything. They're disgraceful in heaven. Angelica, I'm an earth human angel. I'm telling all humans to be earth angels. The Pope starting ministers, priests, prophets, evangelists, kind monks, nuns, humans devoted to Jesus. 100 million people I've seen left alone, all poor. Canada states land of opportunity, I think not. They're freezing to death. World leaders need to do their part or resign. Put their paycheck under God, give it to those that suffered. They left. To have home warm to live, funding, disability. A disabled, keep in mind, simple facts, humans even to help put a file complaints to ODSP Ontario Disability Support Program that I know of, and millions of other countries. They put $200 for a human to live disabled that can work, and for one night can afford a hotel room with a basic washroom with no food and a bed, to stay out of the cold from frostbite and have to live off that for 30 days a night till the next disability paycheck. Well, the prime minister in Canada and the other ones, the president and the pope, lived there in the luxury $1 million houses. The White House in the States, the president, the pope in his mansion in the Vatican, the prime minister in Canada. They have their all happy families, healthy. They make the $1 million, have morally obligated to fund this, where people obviously can work to respect their dignity and health of human value life. If they obviously can work because they're disabled, they're brain damaged, they have the right to have money given to them, that the resources have to help them so they live in a warm shelter, a home of their own, provide a proper medical care attendant, fund is more, not the medically negligent staff, psychiatrist million they paid $1 million for 20 years wronged me and I didn't need, was intelligent against, and live disabled, homeless myself because of them. All the employed didn't do the job, get rid of them, have to give all their money back to me, human right to live. I lost my university education and I could have helped humanity and I scared with that knowledge. $48,000 worked in $7 slave labor in Canada to learn. There are no jobs in Canada. In the States, people freezing to death poor. In other countries, Africa, all homeless, almost all orphans. Pope do nothing. Benedict died, made paycheck, died. Pope Francis, people showed up to his mentioned funeral, as I stated. Recently, New Year's, 70,000 people, no masks. Pope, not good moral example, no masks. It could have spread to 70,000 people, suffer 2 weeks and die. This is not a respect of humanity. The whole Catholic religion is changed. That's why I'm human and Catholic myself. On God's side, a human believer in Jesus Christ. Respect the Jesus Christ and Holy Spirit. Know personally that they do exist, have holy powers, but not on earth. So humans have to do what on earth the humans made of clean-minded flesh can only do. Use their virtues, help others, then you're doing what the holy in heaven have holy powers to do, but they are not doing. You are more valued as a human than earth angel, helping restore, prevent the suffering, health failing, homelessness, thirst, hunger of humans. Do kind, selfless acts to help them in all ways, to bring joy to their hearts and souls and restore heaven and earth to them so they're not suffering anymore that they don't deserve. All kids, humans, adults, nature, all creation, then you are doing more as a human, earth angel, priest, minister, pope, humans, lay people, parishioners acting this way, and you are doing what a holy angel in heaven has abilities to do but not doing on the earth, enough to care. You are worth what you do more than any holy Jesus, God, Holy Spirit, Holy Mary, Holy Archangel, Saint, Apostle in heaven, beyond imaginable proportions. So everyone please be human earth angels, starting as kind earth angel babies, using your virtues, then kind earth angel toddlers, then kind earth angel humans throughout your life. Use your virtues, intelligently help others, help the ministers, whoever has knowledge, nutrition, of help for humans, animals, physical health, overall well-being, and nature, up-to-date COVID, the third part. Help them accomplish this. Millions will view this, keep in mind. It will spread an actual helpful information short session of mercy, of humans caring for one another, from the heart of human one earth angel to another, doing as if what Jesus, when he was a human on earth, doing with his virtues to care, but what only humans can do. Part of a human earth angel worldwide movement, ANGELIKA founded The priest ministers have to act. You have the resources, parishioners. Be the morally right example of physical and spiritual being health. In the Holy Masses, these two main things, and the third part during COVID times, and depending even if there's another country that has different viruses going on, bacteria, fungus, educate yourself. The ministers, the Pope put funding to put online this, create a website, one main one even, up-to-date information, merciful site, help Angelica, the new Holy Mass to turn into. I'm not a priest myself, obviously, but I'm a human earth angel. I'm a humanitarian, a human, not a holy angel, but an earth angel with a purpose on earth to help restore, prevent the suffering and health of all humanity, kids of all ages, old people, animals, nature, to promote the well-being, peace, clean-minded, well, morals, etiquette of all, and for all to respect the dignity and value of each human to be respected this way and educated to share this knowledge with others, so they are respected and treated that way with as a valuable human life with proper health and spiritual guidance in clean-minded, peaceful way, intelligently spoken to and listened to attentively while caring, helped with merciful, kind, compassionate acts, selflessly when choose, without expecting a reward or anything in return, with the simple intent of humans to relieve, prevent their suffering. Their joy will be brought to their hearts and souls, transcended to them in these ways, heaven on earth as they deserve. All humans, animals, and nature. By all humans, earth angels at every age. From all animal earth angels, all bird earth angels, all nature, plants, trees, earth angels, all creation. Earth angels to be never left alone by any other earth angel on earth, and to restore heaven on earth for each other. And then they'll all be healthy and happy, have joy in their heart, soul all the time, in good, clean minded company, and have peace and heaven on earth while they have one life to live on earth at all times, which has to be promoted. Immediately effective new Holy Mass, get rid of all old ones. They're gone. February 2023. Angelica, make sure of it. Human, earth angel. I am a religious, educated, stated human on all sides, well-rounded, life science of all kinds. I speak from the kindness, heart, and soul, so the ministers, priests, all those parishioners have the website. Put the information online. I did the work. I had suffered through different things through life experience. I speak the truth. Please share the other videos I have. Someone protect this. Upload, download them. Keep them safe. Put them on your sites. Add it to them. You have millions of subscribers on God's side. Promote this human earth angel movement. I am beyond crippled. Beyond means I wasn't protected on earth. As a human earth angel, I don't know if I'll live much longer, but I spoke and managed to make these videos. I need someone to help me on the earth to maintain this as long as needed, to accomplish this on the earth, to reach the Pope, all religious world leaders immediately, to care, be human earth angels, follow Jesus' example, minister, preach to others, care for health, the new Holy Mass, physical health, promote spiritual and coronavirus and variant strain preventative measures, and all the other, if there's other viruses, bacteria in other countries, to prevent those information, to help humanity, save whatever left of them, promote proper restore health in all ways, proper shelter, care, food for all, and restore happiness to all, and heaven on earth to all. Thank you for listening to this video. Please subscribe to Angelika JAKIELA, Earth Angel YouTube channel. There's a subscribe button, I believe, below each video, on the bottom of each video rather. Please also, Angelika's site have all these recent videos, articles typed, helpful information on the wix.com site entitled Earth Angel Help. Please share this to 100 million people. Immediately, please act. Help a crippled Earth Angel. It is a benefit to all humans to be Earth Angels, to view and share this to all to help others. Start the mass immediately, new one in effect. This is God's sent to save the health and lives of humanity. It is spoken through an Earth Angel human from the kindest heart of my soul. I have other sites, Earth Angel Transcendental Kindness Facebook group. I have a Facebook page, Angelika JAKIELA Earth Angel. Please follow on Angelika and add as follow. Click on million viewers, please, or who has followers. I have the post there, helpful to all and world leaders, please, and religious. See this and share to all. You have the million followers already. Angelika JAKIELA have. Angelika JAKIELA Earth Angel. My name is spelled ANGELIKA. My last name is spelled JAKIELA. Earth Angel. I have other bloggers site already post these information to Pinterest. Please see these helpful posts that I created. These are intent to respect human dignity, restore for all workplace places. Put these on your, please, this is God's side to put on all new holy mass sites, all congregations post, the Pope put on the sites, keep putting there. Make sure people read this. Restore for all job descriptions, religious or not, to know what this means to care, respect, dignity, health of all and all they employ, because they affect million people under them, parishioners included. All up-to-date little helpful coronavirus post. I put the little pins on Pinterest. You have to can link this to the each please parish site online, Holy Mass. Put it there till the virus is gone. I did the work. Helped summarize what it wasn't easy to find, what the other world leaders didn't do. Please give it to them to post this. Please share all my information, tags, post them. You have the resources, I don't. Please help all humanity, help a crippled Earth Angel accomplish what she can't do alone on Earth. It takes a million humans to act immediately. Save the health and lives of 100 million people that suffered needlessly for years. To stop them suffering immediately by doing what I have these Earth Angel human messages, God sent, Jesus side, Holy Spirit, from the heart to help humanity. Bring joy to their hearts and souls when they don't suffer and have heaven and earth as they deserve.